I was doing an online meditation this morning, and the person leading the meditation asked a question that I actually haven't been asked before. And I really haven't thought about it in a while. And especially if you're watching this and you're a yoga teacher, this is a question I want you to really tap into. And it's, what is one of your best qualities? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? I'll tell you what mine was. Um, One of my best qualities, and if I really think about it, I have a couple of qualities that come to mind, but one of my best qualities is I never give up. And I know that sounds kind of trite, but when I left my corporate career over 20 years ago to work for myself as a yoga teacher, that was a big shift, not just financially, but just in terms of lifestyle and in terms of not really having a roadmap. And 20 years ago, setting out on your own to be a full-time yoga teacher looked really different than it looks now. I mean, this was before social media, so there wasn't even that to leverage in terms of having it as a megaphone to amplify your voice and build community. But without getting into all that, I mean, that has always been, even in today times, my ability to stick with it, to have perseverance, to never give up when it comes to things within my business. I mean, that's what really comes to mind, reworking things so that I can reach more people, just all that sort of thing. So I'm wondering for you, what comes to your mind? Because even though my example is sort of related to my business, it really is something that can come through as a teacher when I'm teaching. And that's really why I wanted to ask you this question, because I think a lot of times yoga teachers, when they start teaching, they lose themselves. They get caught up in what everybody else is doing. They get triggered by somebody else that teaches where they teach, that has bigger classes. They mimic the person who trained them. They do all sorts of things that lose connection to their true self. I know you've heard that word authentic, and that word comes up a lot when teachers talk about what they want to feel when they're teaching. They want to feel like they're being authentic. And I think a really important part of that conversation starts with you acknowledging what's one of your best qualities. And then along with that, to ask yourself, how does that translate when I'm teaching? How does that translate through my teaching? And it could be the kind of thing, like in my example, it could relate to, I'm always looking for, what's the best way for me right now to be building community, to be reaching more yoga teachers, that sort of thing. So that never give up concept might not apply specifically to teaching, but it could apply to some other aspect of being a teacher off the mat. But just for you, what comes up for you? Because I really want you to be teaching from your authentic self, not trying to be like somebody else. Because in you having the courage, when you walk into the room to be yourself, that's how you build connection with the people who come to your class.